All right, go ahead and let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Ready? All right. I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Planning Commission for April 7th, 2026. We're going to start with that we have a Planning Commission public hearing on a proposed subdivision. It's been filed by Rob Sieg on behalf of a Mr. Green, I believe that's the name. And so at this time, I will call that hearing to order and we will hear from the applicant. If you will, come up, step to our podium, and you can cover what is being proposed.
Hello, my name's Rob Sig with Sig Surveying and representing Scott Green, the owner of the property. So Mr. Green purchased the property. He wanted to basically create new residential building lots. And what we came up with is 3 10-acre lots. The zoning requirements are we can only do one divisible lot in a given year. So to do more than that, I think it turns into a subdivision. Rather than waiting 365 days, you want to go ahead and do this all at once, so to market all 3 lots at the same time. So, not certain if you've all seen the proposed layout, but all lots meet the requirements according to zoning code. So we're not asking for any variances or waivers or anything like that. And I believe all the publications and certified mailings have been turned over to Taylor, so we met all those requirements for the hearing. And then we also had 2 letters from utility, one from Telegraph Hill Sewer District saying they can provide service, and also Riker Ridge Water can provide service for water as well. So I believe that is, as far as I know, meets all the criteria for the presentation of a subdivision to the planning commission.
Correct.
So I'll entertain any questions if anybody has questions about what we're presenting.
Talking subdivision, how many houses are we talking about?
3 houses, 3 10-acre lots.
Is that 3 10-acre lots? Is this forever, or is somebody gonna say, hey, Joe down the road, friend of mine needs the ground to build a house, so I'll sell him a couple of acres behind that?
No, the way I'll answer that because we've had those discussions. The way our subdivision ordinances are written, if someone wanted to divide one of those lots in the future because it's been a platted subdivision, they would have to come back before this board, and there would have to be give notices to the surrounding property owners, and there would have to be another public hearing held, and the board would have to make a determination as to whether that's appropriate to do or not appropriate to do, is how that would work. So, but no, at this time, all that would be being approved is 3 10-acre lots that all have entrance onto the county road, and 1 house per lot is all that our ordinances allow to be built there as such. Now, they can have accessory buildings like other places would, where you might have a shed and a side yard or that type of thing. But no, there's no provisions to be able to divide it into more lots going forward.
Single-family dwellings is what's being proposed.
Yes.
So if somebody did come and say they wanted to divide later on, we would get another letter
Yes.
and another hearing.
Another opportunity to be heard. Yes, absolutely.
Question I have is the easement that goes back down through there which splits the 3rd lot. Now he has to build a road to get back to that. Is that correct?
There's not an easement. There's actually property owned to get back to that.
Yeah.
And yes, their driveway would extend out to that. They would have to be built in that back portion because they would not be able to get the setbacks that are needed from the lot lines and so forth in the any part of that front part as such.
Yep. Like my neighbor Rob was talking about, again, they're asking for just these 3 lots. Okay. Are they the full 10 acres? And then the people that actually live there, if they wanted to try to divide that, or does the owner of the lot say, okay, these 3 houses are going on 10 acres? Is there a stipulation in there that where he may work out to where he can split it, like Rob's saying, make it more housing?
No, they would have to come back before the board and ask for
But
another,
they can get it done.
But they can do it.
it could be heard, yes, it could be heard.
Okay, that's,
Now, whether or not it would be allowed, depending on the layout and the impact on surrounding property owners,
we will not be surrounding property owners because the lots will cut us off. It's the houses in the front. that will be-
well, you would still have the ability to be heard regardless of whether you're adjoining or not adjoining. You wouldn't necessarily, if you're not an adjoining property owner, you wouldn't necessarily get the green card like you did this time as such.
That's why we're all here to protect from that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the main concern for me, there's three of us that it's right in front of us. And this, I know this, they get the, sewer out that way has got an upgrade coming and all that. And the sewer is mainly on our side. And like previously down by Cozy Acres, there's a lift station. And it's continuously overflowing, spilling out, and the smell.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to protect ourselves from.
And sewage runs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't want the lift station, if they have to put it on my side where the sewer line is, on the corner of my property, and have to smell that.
No.
I know you wouldn't want that. I would.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest concern, and their concern is down the road, are they gonna have to put some kind of lift station to handle that little section in there?
What,
From what I've understand from, talking with Telegraph Hill, they'd be straight taps to the main as service laterals right into the main. There's not gonna be any new infrastructure ran. It's just 3 taps onto the main.
Okay, but I mean, if they go later in date, will they
I
still?
mean,
we have,
can't speak
they
to
would
that.
have no
That's not-
control
I
over.
know that.
what-
I'm just
yeah,
trying to protect ourselves
Correct.
now.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct. You could have, totally separate from this subdivision, you could have the problem with the location of a lift station for future expansion of Riker Ridge Sewer, regardless of what happens with this subdivision.
I mean,
I,
the way this property lies, if there would ever need to be a subdivision, if it was subdivided, which that's not what the intention of the plan is, the low points are in the north part of the property. So it wouldn't even be close to the road, it'd be on the other side of the property. Everything up front's flat.
Oh, yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense to put a lift station out in front by your house.
So the
It'd
water.
go on the
tables
north
away.
side.
I agree with that, but we have a lot. Since they put
Right.
there's a new building out there on that side of the road,
Mhm.
which, okay. But we have a lot, now we have water standing. It floods over the whole road and you do not realize how many wrecks we almost see there because the water, all of a sudden, because that the driveway and everything, the water is ponding.
Yeah.
back.
When the winter time, it was nothing but a
So
salt shot
it
on the
by.
road.
Sounds
And we
like
have
there
the
needs to be
school
some
bus.
county ditching needs to happen there.
And we
Maybe.
have the school buses going across it and it's,
And the water company said that was okay, that they could do that, because right now, sometimes you turn on our water, we don't have a
Have
lot of
pressure.
water pressure.
no,
It's not that good, no, what we have. I mean, eventually, yeah, there's 3, but eventually, if they do that, there could be 9. Because, you know, you could say they could sell them off, and then we're, pretty soon, you've got
Right.
that many more people on the sewer, and more people on the water bill, and then goes your sewer bill up, and you're right, you're gonna raise your water bill
They
too.
don't take very good care of the sewer.
No,
We
no.
require a drainage
On the
plan.
sewer, it's awful.
On a
Water company
subdivision.
does
Oh,
pretty
they
good,
might be
but-
there.
Yes, we've,
You
I'm
never
trying to
know.
think who Josh checked on the drainage side. We took a look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, we took a look
but
at it.
I know that they have dug out where that new building is, but it didn't help.
Yeah, it trenched out pretty big. It's
Yeah.
a pretty big ditch there
Yeah,
where you're talking about.
it is.
But yeah, the flooding is when it rains
Yeah.
and stuff, it's
And the
very.
culvert underneath the road.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah.
Is that just since that new driveway's been put in?
It's worse since the.
It's worse,
Yeah,
maybe,
it's worse.
yeah.
It's
It's-
worse.
Right.
But it's worse.
But now it's worse.
I mean, they,
I know when they put that driveway in, they didn't put a culvert in there,
At first, yeah.
yeah,
but they have done.
They
a
have
culvert
done
in
some
there.
culvert,
yeah,
It's-
but it
They
still
have,
doesn't.
but it's still
The
Still bad.
culvert going underneath the road down into that pond or wherever they're over is not big enough to take care of. And it backs up, stops up, whatever. and then it backs up out in the road.
Now, the culverts that would go in for these driveways, those would be approved through the county highway department, correct, as far as the sizing and so forth?
Check on that, because I knew originally when they were taking concrete trucks across, they didn't put a culvert in, because I talked to Jason Copeland about that. But they were supposed to come back, and it sounds like they did come back and put a culvert.
And they did, but it
Still
still didn't help
haven't-
feel bad.
The highway department was one of the checkpoint agencies.
Yes.
Their report back was actually that before construction begins, they wanted to be contacted to make sure the drain pipes and culverts were adequately sized before construction began. So it sounds like the highway department's already.
Right. I would assume that culverts would be permitted by them, and if any ditching would need to occur to promote drainage, they would have to do that. To improve that situation for building on the new lot.
Mhm.
So that's typical of any, building process on a residential lot. Just making certain that your culvert's right for your driveway, and then secondly, the drainage is correct to get everything away. So maybe right now it's just lacking that. It needs to have some of that done to help improve the situation.
One more thing, these lots, they got to have houses built on them, or can they be trailers? Can they be double wide?
That's a good question.
Can they do they have to be built houses?
No, our ordinances would allow in Indiana, on any lot in Indiana now, they do not allow you to put bans on manufactured homes. And so if the manufactured home is a square feet large enough that would meet our requirements under our zoning, there could be a manufactured home put on one of
I
those
don't
lots.
really have anything against a double wide or something like that,
Mhm.
just a regular house trailer.
Mhm.
I've got my
Right.
doubts.
The thing that would be surprising with what the selling price is going to be for a 10-acre lot, it's going to be unlikely that
He's not gonna get his
a
investment
person's
back.
going to want to put a mobile home in on a 10-acre lot.
That's my thought, to invest. I know they were asking close to 300,000 for it,
Mhm.
and I don't know what he paid for it, but to divide it into 3 lots, do the math,
Mhm.
what type of a house for him to get a return?
Mhm.
Yeah, and plus putting in road, plus all the utilities and all that stuff, jacks that up.
Mhm.
And I don't see him using to put 1,600 square feet houses in there unless he's going to subdivide at a later date.
And that's not what Mr. Green's intention is either. We've worked with him in 2 other counties, Ripley and Dearborn County, buying parcels similar in size
Mhm.
and broke them up into respectable sized lots, so they're not all just crammed together in a bunch of houses. And,
Do you have any
and
pictures or anything of what he's built or done?
I don't, but I do know
Because I
that
don't know this guy.
the people that he's sold to, and they're nice homes, so,
Right.
they're not manufactured trailers and stuff like that.
And
On
I think put the
locations.
for sale sign up as soon as.
Yeah,
It's,
They're usually sold as
He's
soon
not
as he
waiting.
gets it out there. He's marketing
Yeah,
to nicer homes and stuff like
well,
that.
that's it. And if you're gonna have to ask $300,000 for a home out there on those 3 lots, you may make some money off of that. I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money and just divide 3 lots.
Mhm,
It don't make sense to me.
mhm.
So there's either something else that he's got in his mind. I hope he don't, but that's my thought. I know how some of this stuff works around.
So what is the square footage that's allowed, you said?
I can't think off the top of my head what our minimum square foot.
890, I believe, isn't it? Is it 890? Or is it,
On
do we
ag.
move it?
On ag.
Oh, this is
property.
ag.
For residential,
Six.
a minimum living area for a residential home on ag property is 600 square feet.
600 square feet would be the minimum. That could be, which is very small, and you're not going to be highly unlikely that you would see 600 square foot put on a lot that costs that type of dollars.
Right.
Yeah, you can make no money there.
So counties on that side of the road, and we're city.
We've got I should have had everybody come up individually, but it was a little more comfortable. They were talking and so forth, so
I didn't know we.
that's all right. That's my fault. I apologize for that, but if I let me summarize before we go to the hearing, and then we'll go to our meeting part. We can have some further discussion, but if I'm hearing correctly, there's not as much concern over the fact that we would have 3 individual 10-acre lots that would each have a home on it. The main concern is fears over that they would be subdivided and there would be more homes in the future. Is that correct? And utilities, it would cause problems if it was increased above that and so forth.
I'm more worried about the sewer system than any of it.
Yes.
Because they don't even maintain what we got already.
Mhm.
I've had one falling over for 3 or 4 years and it's still like that.
Right.
And they don't make any effort to,
Mhm.
So
you
they-
know,
And
and
then when you call them to come out, they act like they're mad because you're, I said, that's what you're supposed to do. That's your job.
but they
We
don't.
don't put anything in their toilet that's not supposed to be in there. If,
Well,
that's what
the
aggravates
maintenance
me.
on the sewer system's outside of
It's just
our
not-
side of it, other than we have a letter that did state they felt they could adequately serve the sewer.
Well, I hope they
And I
can.
assume with 10-acre lots, if they chose to, they could put septic system in as long as ground perked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have the
Yeah.
ability to do that as well.
We
if they-
actually were proposing to do that initially, and
Mhm.
when I found out that there's a public sewer close by,
It would be best if you could use. the public
technically you're
sewer.
supposed to hook into it by Indiana code.
Okay.
There could have been a way of going around
Like I
that if
said,
you
much
needed to.
problems that we have now with sewage or with the sewer system, I can't see adding anything to it.
Mhm. Okay. Anything else from the public?
I just wanted somehow where we can get this locked in that they can't keep subdividing.
Yeah. I
We,
think that's everybody's.
I know that's the
main
future,
concern.
and who knows who will be here, but
Mhm.
I just trying to protect
right.
my
There's,
best interest.
there's not any way that we can guarantee that
Because
they
fighting
wouldn't
the
come back and
utilities-
ask for something different in the future.
Trying to fight the utilities is another
Mhm. Mhm. Yes,
problem.
right.
Because 3 houses is probably gonna be okay,
Mhm.
but you start getting into 15 houses or 20 houses and
Right.
it's
And we got a
not.
problem.
Density is a problem. I agree with.
But there's adjoining property that's farmland that's,
Mhm.
who knows what's going to happen there, so
Mhm.
we want to try to get a fight on this before it
Mhm.
gets spread.
Right. I understand. And I think there would be a reluctance of this board to add additional houses. It would be seen as a move to go around subdivision ordinances. If you go to smaller than 10-acre lots, we require that they be served by internal roads.
Right.
And so, and that would be another requirement that would come up into play when those changes took place. It would have to be discussed at that time.
That, going back to James' property, that's why I was thinking that was going to be the access to the back halves of those properties.
Yeah, that was reserved before the.
Yeah, I know
involved.
that, I knew that.
Okay.
An easement can only serve 2
What's that?
parcels, and an easement can only serve 2 parcels.
Then if it was an easement, the easement can only serve 2 parcels under our ordinances as well. You can't have the easement and put numerous parcels off of that. So there'd be several limitations there that would have to be looked at in the
There's no
future.
way of trying to get around that.
I don't
And a
see,
year from now.
no, we don't particularly have a way to, if it's meeting our current ordinances, to add conditions to it at this point.
It would have to turn into a dedicated road, most likely,
Yes,
in order for
at
that
that
to
point.
occur for future expansion.
How-
That's not what the intention is.
Mhm.
Where is the third lot gonna drain to? Or how do you propose the drainage? Where's it going?
We provided easements along the sides of the property so that they could work through the,
Which way is it going? Is it going north or is it coming south to that?
most of the property wants to drain north from what I saw in the contours. I know it's extremely flat in front, but when the site's set up, somebody's gonna have to do a little grading to make the water go.
To the
And
south, to the road, or
It would
to the
be
back of
best
the
if it
lot?
went to the north, but I can't dictate what somebody does with their lot, where they're gonna build.
That's, that's,
I mean, it's 10 acres, there's a lot of
and it's
room to
split
work
in
with.
half. It's, was it 8-2 or 6-4, that back lot?
Which one?
No,
Yes, which
back
one?
here, this one, right here,
This one right here.
It's a total of 10 acres.
but it's split by that.
Well, they could build on either side of it. And I think it draws off this way.
So you just said they can build off of this side, so they're.
West covenants.
Four.
No, it's one lot.
But
They
they-
can't build on that easement. They have to be
No.
on either side.
But they could build on either side.
Right, but only one home, not two.
Because
it's one lot. You can only have one dwelling unit per lot.
Yeah.
So I was curious, I didn't see it on here.
All right, we're-
Yeah, you have draw.
But
one
do
to
we
the
set
north
those
there,
covenants
one
or do
going to the
they?
north
set
there.
those covenants?
So
Through-
that area is draining
Whoever
off that way,
still
so
But
that's
Drains,
where you'd want your water to go to the north.
drains is a big issue in this county.
We had a couple of people come in late. Were you wanting to address something on the proposed subdivision? Come on up and have us, and you can,
It's the property I was telling you about, it's next to this.
all right.
So, we were wanting to know about the sewage system. What sewage system would be put in there?
Rikers Ridge had presented a letter that they would be able to handle the sewage off of the 3 new homes.
So, if they do that, will other families be able to do that on farmland if that ends up happening?
That's up to Rikers Ridge Sewer, that not our say.
So you gotta think about too, that your taxes are gonna go up with this new
Yeah.
property.
Water and sewer
And
bill.
we're already taxed to death on farmland.
New growth has effects positive and negative on taxes. It can also, by adding to the assessed valuation of the county as a whole, it helps lower people's taxes as well. So there's two sides to that, but I hear you.
So I know that the Rikers Ridge Company got some grant money
Mhm.
to do the sewage system. So is that gonna be part of this?
I'm not familiar with their grant side of it. All I know is that they have made a commitment, and when they were contacted, that they would be able to provide sewage. It's my understanding that's an existing line that would be being tapped into.
Existing sanitary force main,
Force
it's
main
6
is
inches,
there.
and I think from what I've been told, they would have to do a bore underneath the road and connect to the main on that side, so
Mhm.
there'd be a small pit that they would have to dig down to tap the main, and that would be at 3 different times,
Yeah.
wherever the houses are gonna go in there.
Mhm.
So there'll be individual taps,
Mhm.
not a new main or anything like that, so, just borne by the homeowner, not by the utility company.
Now, will there
They'll
be,
have to pay for their own tax.
will there be additional clean outs to where they can get in there in our yards now, or it's what? If it's,
I would assume they'd have a shut off valve, so it's whatever, Telegraph Hill sewer requires, whatever the requirements are. I'm not familiar with how the process works, so. But typically, when you have a force main, everybody has a grinder pit, has
Yeah.
a check valve in it, and then there's also another valve, a curb stop before it hits the main too, so they can shut it off, so nothing comes back in if they gotta work on it. So, so that's the typical process that I know. But what their standards and protocol is,
Are you all,
Never
are
really
you all
looked
looking at the sewer now?
No.
No, I didn't think so. I don't live very far from it, I'm saying,
Okay.
and I know
We all
you
live
real
right there.
well.
Anything else from the public?
I'm still going back to the sewer. I don't wanna clean out my yard, and I don't want a damn, lift station. And there ain't nobody here that's gonna promise me that. If you can promise that, I'm all for it. But like I said, once the utility gets the go-ahead, how do you stop it?
Well, utility would have to have an easement, or either be putting it on property that they don't have to have an easement for. And I don't know where that lays out there. So there's nothing within the control of the plan commission on a subdivision approval to control that.
they would most likely have an easement already for that existing main, or be
Yeah.
within the right of way of
Yeah.
Cross Road.
Mhm.
So, that's the area they'd be working within for.
It's about 5 feet off the road, I think, the line.
So it's most likely in the right of way of the road.
Cause that's
I
on
think
our
that-
side of the road, right?
Correct.
I think the right of way is 40 feet there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It's 40 feet, but the line is about 5 feet off. the line.
Right. During the public hearing,
So the Record Bridge Company already has trouble with the sewer system as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not even on it, I hear about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
so.
That's what
you know.
Yeah, how would you like to pay for it?
No, yeah, it's gonna go up.
Well, let's,
To Jeff.
That's where it goes back to the lift station to help it along, because I can see it. You know, I work at the city, I see all kinds of problems, and you know, people gotta have rights. I mean, that's the bottom line. I moved out there not to have the smell of sewer.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys don't want to live next to the sewer plant downtown. That's, I know nobody would want that.
anything else from the public? Not, we'll adjourn the hearing and convene our regular meeting then. Discuss this a little further at the board. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
No, I don't unless you do.
Any questions for the developers? Anyone have any? All right,
Thank you.
It's just the absence.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
For coming tonight.
I have to say, I really like this, that you didn't make everybody get up and go do that. It was really nice.
all right, we'll move on to our regular board meeting. I'll adjourn the hearing and call it to order. We have a termination of a quorum
Warren Oxer,
here.
David Bramer,
Here.
David Ferguson,
Here.
Jenny Beverly,
Yeah.
Mike Pittman, Larry Wynn,
Here.
Britt Copeland, Gary Copeland,
Here.
Tammy Seedam.
We have a quorum, so we'll move on to, everyone have an opportunity to, look over the minutes from our last meeting, our regular minutes from January 6th.
I make a motion to accept them as
We
presented.
have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any further? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes. We'll be discussing this further. If you want to stay, we'll probably be making a decision here in a little bit as a board. So there won't be an opportunity for other public input particularly on it, but we'll discuss it as a board and go from there. All right, then we'll go on. The next item of business was discuss the board's thoughts on the subdivision for the 3 lots that we've just heard. What's the board's thoughts, opinions?
It seems that everybody's followed the rules and regulations on these things and they've met all the existing requirements. I think where the problem lies within the community back here are situations that are out of our control from that standpoint of the sewer system and whatnot. I don't know what avenues they have to take within the system out there. Do you know, Dave? Is there?
Well, they did get they got an Oprah grant here just recently, and they're gonna get more money to repair the lift stations that are just falling apart.
Do you know? Is there a lift station close to Mr. Block? Is there a lift station close out there to any of y'all?
No, is there one down, farther down the road? I think it's down east from what I understand.
Yeah,
It's down on Old State Road 62.
it's on
Okay,
Old State Road 62, down by Cozy Acres, so.
gotcha. So,
It's on the curve, yeah.
so approximately how many miles is that away from your place?
I'm gonna say a mile and a half.
About a mile and a half.
And they're always working on it all the time.
It's job security, but okay, gotcha. So
Call me Mr. Block.
I'm close. I'm close. Okay, so I feel you, but do they have to present the commissioners with anything as far as what they're going to do with their grant money, what their plans are, or anything?
Well, they presented the kind of their project, and that's a portion of what they are. We haven't been asked to review it, so, but they have. It's part of the grant application. They needed us to support it, the commissioners, so they told us what they were gonna do.
Gotcha. When's this supposed to, you know, when they get their money, when it's supposed to start?
Well, so they didn't get all of the money that they needed
Wanted.
for the whole project, but that will be money that they can use as a match for another grant and or a revolving loan. one of those two that they're gonna get, the loan. Take a loan.
Is there any timetable on that? I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head, no, but. And this has been going on for several years, so I believe they're probably getting calls, because they mentioned the issues as well, because they remind us if they went under, it was ours.
Okay. So how old is this system out there? You got a clue? You guys know?
40 to 50.
Yeah. No, I mean, 30 some years, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha.
30's old, what's that make us?
Well, you do the math. You feel the math. Let's go that way.
Any other questions?
No, I agree with Larry. I think, what we can control is, I think they followed all the rules and regulations. My only recommendation is if they do see ponding and water and drainage issues, you get a hold of the county right away and let them know so they can see that would help the situation, is when it is actually flooding your road or what have you, that you get a hold of them immediately, and sounds like a ditching issue through the county. But that's only thing I would recommend. But that's, like I said, from what was presented to us and what we can control, I think they've done everything, the way they should.
I'd entertain a motion either to approve or deny then.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve as it is.
All right, do we have a second?
One second.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, we'll have a roll call vote.
Warren Oxshire,
Yes.
David Bramer,
Yes.
David Ferguson,
Yes.
Jenny Beverly,
Yes.
Larry Wynn,
Yes.
All right.
Gary. Oh,
Well, he's got to be
gotcha.
sworn in.
Gotcha.
All right. Then that gave us how many? 5 yeses?
Yes. Bye.
Yes, we have 5 yeses. We have to have a majority of the plan commission to approve it, which we have. So the subdivision for the 4 10-acre lots is approved. Next step that we'd want to go ahead and address this evening. Three, excuse me. I'm very sorry. I misspoke. 3, you're correct. 3. I'm in trouble already. No, I apologize. I don't know where in the world the 5 came from. There's nothing secret there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking something, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The next step, normally there are construction plans and so forth that would be submitted, and roads are put in and so on. And then it comes back and we do a final plat approval. In this particular case, there's not going to be any internal roads. There's no utilities to install at this particular time. And we need to go ahead and do a final plat approval this evening, so they'll be able to proceed with selling the lot. And the only thing I would want to confirm that before we do that, all of the lot boundary markers have been installed and are in place, all the pins. That's correct.
Been in the ground for at least 2 to 3 weeks.
All right. And then I've also checked with our county surveyor, who had to leave early, and he confirmed that the survey and the layout of it met his approval for the 3 lots. And Josh, you've checked our checkpoint agencies, the letters that we got back and so forth. Where are you on those?
Taylor actually looked at those. I think that, all that has been approved as well.
Is that correct, Taylor? Correct. Yeah, all right. So if you're comfortable, I'd entertain a motion that we give final plat approval for the subdivision this evening.
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call vote?
Warren Oxshire,
Yes.
David Bramer,
Yes.
David Ferguson,
Yeah.
Jenny Beverly,
Yes.
Larry Wynn.
Yes.
All right, it's approved as well. All
Yeah.
right.
I want to make a comment here first. The reason these two are not voting is because they're new to the board and they haven't been sworn in yet. So I don't want you to think that they're abstaining or anything for any reason. Okay, I just want you to know that. Okay, this is their first meeting. And the second thing is, stay on top of that drainage thing and make calls. I don't care if you make them every day. I don't care if you've already made them.
They,
Okay.
they really did ditch it out,
Yeah.
really, really good. I mean, they did, but it didn't,
So the,
didn't solve the issue.
Is it the culvert
No,
under the
they put a
road?
new one up.
yeah,
But it
some of
might be the one under the road. I
yeah,
don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying. If that one's too small,
Yeah.
then let the highway department know.
What's that? Yes, yes.
Right, yeah.
You've got minutes where they sign it too, don't you? Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And so if you don't get any satisfaction there, let me know. My number's on the county website and I'll go talk to Jason and make sure we get something done.
And I've got experience with this stuff. I worked on highways for 30 years. And
Well.
so I pretty well keep an eye on things like this.
But do stay on it, okay? Do stay on it.
Then the other item that we had on our agenda, but I believe it's been taken care of. We had one vacancy on our board, correct? And that's now been filled. I didn't introduce, but Tammy Dam's a new member, and then a new appointment by the county council of Mr. Copeland. So we do have two members, but I believe everybody knows everybody. So does anyone else have anything else for the board this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. All right. I appreciate you all coming this evening.